Hey, what's up, everybody? So the other day I was thinking to myself, what are two very powerful things that we can be doing right now that can help us make this year, 2021, one of the best years of our life, regardless of the pandemic, regardless of all the things that are going around, regardless of this other lockdown that we have, especially in the United States. So I thought of two, which I think are two very, very powerful, profound things, and I want to share that with you. Number one thing that we can do that can help us so much is deep self-awareness. Deep self-awareness of the essence of who we are first at the deepest level of ourselves. Because let's say this pandemic didn't happen. Let's say it didn't exist. If it didn't happen, then a lot of us, if we're not aligned with ourselves, with our truth of who we are, we will still be feeling that sense of lack, insecurity, that sense like something's missing within us. Like we have like a hole within ourselves, that we're not complete when we're not aligned with ourselves, when we don't have that awareness of who we really are. Because a lot of problems, guys, for many of us, well, not for everybody, but for most of us, and I don't say for everybody because in 2020, some people went through devastating moments, devastating times. So not everybody, but for most of us, maybe 95% of us, for the rest that are going to be okay, that survived 2020, that are going to be okay this year, a lot of problems that we had them even before the pandemic. Those problems of trying to lose weight or being in a good health or being in the relationships or your career, all those difficulties that we had them before the pandemic. The pandemic just exposed them to a different level. And I think that awareness, self-awareness is one of the most important things because it covers so many things. And if there was a reason of why all this stuff happened, if there was a reason why this pandemic specifically happened, I think it was because it to help us get that self-awareness, to get that clarity within ourselves, to know if we are living in integrity with ourselves. Because I think that the next couple years that are coming is going to be very difficult years, and it's starting to be very difficult because our human nature is not used to having so much noise, so much distraction, so much change in so little time. And I think the world is helping us right now look at ourselves and say, hey man, a lot more noise is coming. The world is going to change so much. If you're not ready, you're going to have even more pain. So that's number one, self-awareness. We have to focus 100% this year to help us. Number two thing that I believe that will help us so much, which I actually think is as important as number one, is number two is courage. Is having the courage to actually do the things that we are actually afraid of doing. Ask yourself right now, what is one or two things that you right now are afraid of doing that you know if you did one or two things will completely change 2021 or beyond? A lot of times we don't do the things that we should be doing because we're actually afraid of being criticized, we are afraid of being judged, we are afraid of being rejected. That's why we don't do the things that we actually know that we need to do. And I guess that a lot of things that we actually want are behind the things that we are actually afraid of doing. So courage is one of the most important things to have now, because if you can have like all this self-awareness in the world, you can be a very self-aware person, but if you don't have the courage to be able to execute that awareness, then we'll be stuck in the same place. But if we don't have the self-awareness to know what courage to take, then we're just going in circles and circles and never feeling complete. So these two things, that's why things are so profound, and we don't have to focus in a million things, just two things that are going to help us the most. For me personally, one of the things that has affected me the most in my life has been these two things. Is not having that awareness of who I really am, and also not having the courage to do the things that I know that I should be doing because I didn't do them because I didn't feel worthy enough to be able to do those things. So guys, if we don't even put that intention that it's even possible to make it one of the best years, then why would anything will change? if we don't change anything within here, in here, and with the things that we actually gonna be doing, why would anything change? If we don't make any changes in here, 2021 is gonna be a replica of 2020, 2019, 2018, 2017, and so on. Guys, I appreciate you guys so much, and I will talk to you guys soon.